Yep, cat tax has to be paid. Team Liquid will remove that one from the table, also getting rid of the Akali. And the Corki and Sona are the first bans here for Cloud9. They don't want to make the mistake of letting DoubleLift onto the Sona Taric shenanigans that we've seen other teams make in the past.
I love that that was his highlights when he was walking out was the Sona power chord.
You know he's got to love it.
It's a signature champion.
Oh yeah, just that's what he's going to be known for years into the future. A man and his Sona.
Forget the Lucian. It's all about that Sona. All right. Well, and I'm really excited to see, is Cloud9 going to look for something like that first pick Aatrox themselves, trying to take that away? You know, Impact has been pretty happy to play things like the GP into that, the Kennen, as well. He has quite a few picks that he is comfortable with, but, I want to see Cloud9 give themselves options to play around both of their solo lanes so that it is not as obvious where they are going to go.
And it's clear to me that Team Liquid have their eyes on the junglers still. This Gragas will probably be permabanned versus Svenskeren. They don't want the MVP jungler to have a champion that can be that explosive. So Cloud9 opt for the next best choice for them. The Sejuani does have the initiation, does take away some of the front line that Team Liquid like to rely on.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting because it's not really that early game powerhouse. This is much more of a scaling jungler, and I think Xmithie is going to be very comfortable to take something like a Trundle or even the J4 into this. Playing kind of the more defensive end of the matchup is often where he is happiest.
But yeah, going from picking something like a Zeyzal first rotation on red side to Sejuani literally first pick on blue, at least to me signals a pretty drastic change in mindset coming into the second game.
The other thing you have to remember though is in some cases, in some 2v2s, it actually can be really strong in the early game, and that is with a melee champion. If you pair it alongside something like an Irelia, which is not actually banned out this time along, or the Renekton, the Kled, some of these different picks that Cloud9 have brought out, you can turn yourself into a stronger 2v2 combo.
Lock it in. There we go.
The smile on your face.
Team Liquid respond to the Sejuani. They'll grab themselves the Tahm Kench early on for some safety and some mobility around the map, and they'll grab the Skarner for that pick potential. I mentioned last game when it was banned how much of a winning record Xmithie has on this champion.
Skarner also deters a lot of melee threats, kind of pushing Cloud9 more into a range situation where they're going to want to set up. Already having Sejuani behind that sort of lineup, are they still going with the Irelia even into Skarner? This becomes a hard choice for Irelia because Irelia wants to get her burst, right? She needs to get her wave clear from the Tiamat as well as the Trinity Force. Fitting a QSS in comes much later, and it comes at a very big cost to this champion.
And I'm not sure if Impact would go to it, but we actually saw Irelia into Poppy and Skarner yesterday, and that looked so doomed for the Irelia. I think Poppy would be a fantastic pick here for Liquid if they felt like going to it. It's great in the laning phase against Irelia. It shuts down not only the Irelia playmaking, but also Kaisa ultimate, the dash from the Sejuani as well. So I think it could be a really solid top lane pick.
Well, we will have to wait and see those solo lane picks for Team Liquid until the second half of the draft. They're going to go with the jungle plus bottom lane combination here, picking up the Varus along with Tahm Kench. Kench being good for keeping the Varus safe when he normally has no escapes. Kaisa for the side of Cloud9, his 80 carry counterpart, as we're into the second half of the bans, and Nautilus is taken off the table.
Varus, Tahm Kench might be the second most highly prized duo for bottom lane. Varus extremely powerful in that lane phase. And with Tahm Kench safety here, Team Liquid basically deterred any sort of plan around bottom lane that Cloud9 would want to get off the ground early. So it is going to be maybe a more predictable plan once again from Cloud9 as the Sejuani Irelia. You're always going to expect those two to be playing very closely, and that can allow for Team Liquid another game plan that will easily answer that of Cloud9.
It is interesting though, this Varus certainly one of the most picked throughout this entire year for DoubleLift, but not a pick that he's had a tremendous amount of success on. 4 and 6 in this year on the pick, so it has not really been the same level of domination that you come to expect from DoubleLift on a lot of his other champions, where he is sporting these incredible win rates and dominating statistics.
Well, Team Liquid will continue paying respect to Zeyzal's Alistar. That is back-to-back games now. We've seen this banned away in the second half of the draft from TL, as Cloud9 will take LeBlanc and Sylas away.
And I think that's a lot of that really is, protection for this low mobility marksman player. And also, if you are expecting something like an Azir, you don't want to give them the ability to hard engage in with the Nautilus, with this Alistar.
All right, Cloud9, what will the answer be? Again, facing Impact's Aatrox. got so big in the team fights of the last game. One of the biggest things too was the communication between Team Liquid having Impact roam down early for the river play that got everything started off.
Looks like a little bit of counter engage might be coming out here. The Braum sat on for a while by Cloud9 and they'll lock that one in.
You always want some easy crowd control when your Kaisa is your marksman, so you can apply the plasma and give Kaisa more options to use the killer instinct too. Braum is also quite good in the team fights. Breaking projectiles, you can get in front of Varus. The crowd, again booing the Karma pick. And
Let's go! Now we are talking. Cloud9, eternally the memers.
Yeah.
They put the Karma up just to tilt the crowd. Switch it over to the Kled.
I mean, I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but if you lock in Karma top when you just went Sejuani and you have the ability to go for this aggressive 2v2, you would be trolling.
Definitely will be a top triangle Sejuani this time around. Both solo laners are the ideal partners for this champion. Permafrost will stack up so quickly.
Now this is really interesting to me. You know, I am expecting this Vladimir to actually go to Jensen, but that being said, Kled is an incredibly strong matchup into the Vladimir. I am not sure if Nisqy has prepared his Kled, if he would be comfortable to actually play it, or if they would be comfortable to lane swap around and have the Kled actually kind of chasing the Vladimir around the map. Because that matchup is very, very good. It's one of the best early game matchups for Kled.
Yeah, both Aatrox and Vladimir, healing-based champions. Very hard to deal with, especially with the new added grievous wounds to the bear trap on a rope for Kled.
And the tether actually goes through the pool for Vladimir, which is one of the most difficult parts. So you have to actually pre-pool the tether every time, or you will so heavily lose these trades. And as expected, it is going to be a mid lane Vladimir here for Jensen, but I'm so interested to see, will Cloud9 actually look for a lane swap? Or are they going to be comfortable just playing matchups as Team Liquid wants them? Because Kled really is so difficult, and we have seen Kled mid, you know, played in the LPL, as well as some of the other leagues around the world.
I also just want to see, can Team Liquid read Cloud9 as well as they did in the early game last time around? You mentioned, Isaac, how difficult it was going to be for Cloud9 to win with the last draft, considering the plan was very obviously play around mid. This is a team that does it to begin with. The draft wanted to do it. It was all there. Now that you have more options, now that the read is a little bit more difficult, can Team Liquid still find that out?
One of the biggest things when you are looking for those lane swaps is controlling the river between top and mid lane. And that is going to be on Svenskeren, on the Sejuani.
Crowd roars to life, and we are going to game 2 now. Everybody's on to the Rift. I love watching Irelia's home guard animation, just skating out on the blades, out onto Summoner's Rift as we're waiting for those
Back to the future.
Spawn. Yeah,
The
exactly.
hoverboard.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a, you know, as you're talking about, Flowers, a much more difficult game for Xmithie to actually know where to go. You know, Cloud9 has not just drafted the Sejuani Irelia, they have Sejuani Kled to play too also. Powerful 2v2s in both lanes.
And as we're waiting for those minions to spawn, we're standing by. Avli's got a sideline report ready with League's biggest fan.
Biggest fan and one of the greatest minds in League of Legends, Tyler One. I gotta ask you, what went wrong with Cloud9? What were they doing?
Well, honestly, I think they tried to have fun playing League of Legends. You can't pick Thresh. You can't pick Veigar. You gotta play something like Braum, Tahm, Kench. So, this game should be a lot better.
Well, then I have to ask you, who are you rooting for in this series?
Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care who wins, but I want some nice, exciting Game 5 action. Let's go! That's what I want!
Game 5, I think maybe I should just ask you this instead. Who do you feel like you could replace on the stage here today?
Sneaky, DoubleLift, Zeyzal, Nisqy, Svenskeren, Licorice, you get the gist.
I love it. Tyler, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Back to you guys.
All right, no Game 5 exciting action, but hopefully some Game 2 exciting action will do the trick here as Licorice trying to push in on Impact.
I agree with Tyler. I like seeing exciting champions. I'm glad we didn't get any karma.
Yeah. He was saying Cloud9 was having too much fun. What was the karma then? Only the bot side of the map was getting to have fun.
That's a good question. Well, let's see how everybody's playing out this one here. Xmithie, he goes from the red into the Krug camp, going for the full clear through the jungle, leveling up as effectively as possible on this Skarner. And there you go. I said the win rate was impressive. 14 19-1 in his LCS career on the Scorpion.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane, his level of dominance on this champion. And we do have at least our early answer that it is going to be Jensen into this Irelia, and this is a much safer lane for Vladimir and also a much safer matchup as the innate healing debuff with Kled and the ability to go through that tether makes it really hard.
And both of these mid laners are staying in very similar roles. Bottom lane, though, Svenskeren making an early pass on the Tahm Kench lane.
CoreJJ is the target. They know he's able to just gobble DoubleLift up and keep him safe. DoubleLift is devoured for now, but he's going to be taken down. First blood, Cloud9, and Sneaky tries to get the flash auto Q, but the minions show up to stop it.
Yeah, just barely can't get that second kill, but they do get the first, and that is massive. This is, again, not TP Varus. This is heal on DoubleLift here, and he's going to lose all these minions.
Big plays from Cloud9, nice and early on. This is what we wanted to see from Svenskeren last time around. Game 1, Xmithie was there. Game 2, he's not. And this time, it works as intended.
So I have to say, some changes to Tahm Kench that people not keeping up with all the patches might not remember. He's not the free save that he used to be. Very, very slow once he devours. And there's not going to be any distance gain here because they stun him up as well. So spits DoubleLift right back out. Low health, they finish him off. Sneaky, yes, wanted to get full, Q missiles with the auto there to try and finish him, but with the health potion ticking, CoreJJ is able to survive.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Tahm Kench used to actually haste himself when he devoured an ally. Now he just gets incredibly slowed down. Hard to move with your big old belly full, and that means DoubleLift finds himself falling behind early on in this bottom lane. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Cloud9. As we take a look at the top point, things are going pretty even. As Licorice goes in for the 1v1, he'll be knocked off of his Skarl, but not much more danger right now.
You can see why people like this matchup here, though, for Kled, able to actually dodge out multiple sweet spots of those Qs, utilizing the joust on the Kled, and Svenskeren is here.
Impact's pretty close to that turret.
Very well-timed Infernal Chain there as well for Impact. Once that lands on Kled dismounted, Kled dismounted is not getting out of the Infernal Chain pretty much ever unless he flashes. So as soon as Svenskeren sees that, has to back off.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Nisqy getting aggressive onto Jensen here with the Irelia early on. Remember, Vladimir doesn't really feel that intimidating until he hits level 7, level 9, gets the low cooldowns on the transfusion. So Nisqy should have a plenty good time here in this mid lane, but it's jungler versus jungler in the brush. Xmithie's gonna be stunned up immediately. Nisqy makes his way over, and Xmithie falls.
And this time it is Svenskeren waiting for Xmithie at that mid lane. Shu on the other foot here. Cloud9 out to a great start.
They saw the Predator popped as well, just sitting there in the brush, waiting for that Skarner to come over. And the Sejuani plus Irelia combination, when you face check that, that is instant doom. The stuns are unavoidable.
You could see, though, TL was looking for that same set play from last game. Impact was roaming down at the same time. They were trying to orchestrate this 3v2 that they actually pulled off in game 1, but this time, Cloud9 was ready and CoreJJ's in trouble.
Cloud9's ready in the bottom lane now, too. Thick skin could still be proc down here. CoreJJ's still gonna be worn down. Backup could be coming in from the river, but Svenskeren won't go any further, but top side, Team Liquid gets on the board.
Xmithie gets some revenge right there. They take down top side, bottom side, C9 dive.
4-man dive potentially coming in here now. Nisqy and Svenskeren ready to go. The minions are not at the turret just yet. They have to contemplate how hard they want to go here. Vanguard's edge comes out. TP's going through. CoreJJ is down, but at what cost? Svenskeren with a flash away, and Impact's now going to be taken very low. Nisqy falls, and Impact falls as well. Sneaky's grabbing the kill onto that one, and Jensen can do nothing. Cloud9 crush Team Liquid.
Cloud9 clean house on the bottom half of the map. Absolutely dismantling Team Liquid with multiple teleports coming in. They follow through on the tower dive, and this is going to be a fed Sneaky.
That is a huge advantage here for Cloud9. DoubleLift falling down again will lose all these minions. And it was Cloud9 with the full commitment to the bot side. Up on the top side, it's the kill over onto Licorice. from Xmithie and Impact. They get the dismount, they knock him down, but this was happening at the same time as the play was being orchestrated on the bottom side. And when Kled respawned, they could go for the 5-man bot.
And it's actually that play, that information that Skarner is committed to the top side of the map that gives Cloud9 full authority to go for this dive. They know they can answer the same amount of teleports, but no Skarner will ever show up. So it is a 5 versus 4, and look at that finish. They're able to get the last kill off of Licorice ulting down, charging double-lift, diving the tower. He knows he can just dismount under it, and it will be a clean dive, no further casualties.
Nisqy's hyped up about it. Azael, you and I talked a little bit between the games about how the situation of the first game, Svenskeren picking the early champion in the Zeyzal, using the flash at level 2, not getting a kill, sort of spelt doom for his early game, but the man is popping off here in game number 2, as once again, Blood in the bottom lane. Sneaky's gonna be taken low. Xmithie drags him back, but the damage isn't there just yet. Shut down over to CoreJJ, who's also gonna be keeping Xmithie alive. Svenskeren tries to find something. He'll get one, but he loses his life for it.
That was critical for Xmithie. He needed that counter gank to work because DoubleLift was getting picked on so much.
That was Cloud9's biggest plan in this game, attacking the bottom side, attacking Team Liquid's biggest strength. Up until this point, it had worked flawlessly. They get 2 for 1, and Sneaky does go down, but thankfully for C9, he still has his teleport cooldown. So that death is not nearly as detrimental as the ones that they inflicted upon DoubleLift, upon CoreJJ. Everything still is online for C9 to continue on with this plan.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. You know, this is the double combat summoners here for the TL bot lane, and yet they're the one, you know, on the receiving end of this punishment. And, you know, if you are playing TP, it's much less detrimental. You can get all that additional experience, but you're going to be behind in XP and gold at this point.
And now Cloud9 doing what we saw Liquid do in the last game, taking control over the early Drake after establishing priority in the mid and bottom lanes. They'll secure the Mountain Drake for themselves, and they'll look for the fight onto the TL bottom side. Vanguard's edge will lock them in place. CoreJJ will fall, and he'll spin up his lunge too. Nisqy's grabbing the kill, and TL's in the dirt.
Zeyzal has to be highlighted. That Braum ultimate passing through DoubleLift to CoreJJ. They know Tahm Kench is the one to get. They're able to take down the bottom lane once again, getting too close to contest that dragon. There was no reason for Team Liquid, no incentive there to actually get out from under the tower, and they give over more gold to this Cloud9 onslaught.
Team Liquid looking a bit out of sorts here, you know, kind of crumbling under this immense amount of pressure that Cloud9 is actually putting on them non-stop, trying to force onto this bottom lane. Despite a well-timed devour from CoreJJ, you pointed it out, Kobe, you're so slow on this Tahm Kench. There's no real chance of escape.
I mean, you're stuck in the Vanguard's edge, too. As soon as you hit the blades, it's over. There was just too much manpower for Cloud9, and they are 3,500 gold ahead 10 minutes into this game. No turrets have fallen. We're still pretty comfortably in the laning phase, and Cloud9 is just smashing this early game. Now they're onto the Rift Herald.
Cloud9, definitely the team that takes more risks, and also the team getting more rewards this time around. Rift Herald getting burned down. Impact does roam through, but they don't have vision on it, and he's actually been seen over this ward, so I would expect Cloud9 to further this plan. Topside is wide open. They've got the Rift Herald. They can not only use that Rift Herald to get the plates, they'll take the whole tower.
Yeah, Team Liquid very clearly kind of just handshaking on this. They had already sent 3 members down to that bot side, so they are going to try to get a turret for themselves in the bottom lane, but C9 will get this more quickly with the Rift. And the question becomes, when do you go back to top lane to try to deal with this? Because Cloud9 could potentially continue the push on the tier 2 if they want.
Bottom side, DoubleLift and CoreJJ will get back as much plate money as they can. They will simply just surrender that top lane tier 1, not worried about it whatsoever. Sneaky will try to escort Shelly up to at least get the second charge off. You're seeing pings coming out from Cloud9 throughout this top side jungle right now, pulling bodies over to potentially continue that push, as you said.
Might go for this dive here. Svenskeren positioning behind the tower. Xmithie hovering around and shadowing his top laner.
Throw out the Glacial Fissure. Impact's in danger. Svenskeren looking to find him. Nice body block coming out from Xmithie there. Still looking to make some sort of a play happen. Pull's going to make it a 1-for-1. And Cloud9 is behind enemy lines. Jensen's able to make some moves onto both bottom lane members. The pop onto Sneaky. And Xmithie's in retreat from Licorice. C9 brings in the entirety of the cavalry. The charge makes it happen, and the T2 is down.
Cloud9 is just playing so well together as a team, not backing down whatsoever. After that tough game one, they are just going right at TL and looking to punch him in the mouth.
They're not looking to. They've landed blow after blow after blow. TL's chin is hurting, Azael. These guys are coming into this game with a plan and making it happen. Nisqy stealing away the red buff while he's at it.
Now you have to look at what is this going to mean considering the context of the team that Cloud9 have. With these double melee solo laners, they have to look for plays like this. They have to be a dive-heavy team that's willing to take these risks. Svenskeren is the Sejuani point person here, able to get the stun off. He gets dragged under the turret, but Cloud9 have more members that are on the same plan, and we come back to live with Nisqy getting the solo kill on Jensen.
Clap, clap, clap. That's how you do it, and you can see the smile on his face. Shuffle me into the Nexus at the end of game one. Hell no.
Nisqy is loving it. He was laughing as he getting that solo kill onto Jensen.
And it really illustrates what we were just talking about. When the map opens further, it really is a playground for this C9 composition. They have multiple melee solo laners with a Sejuani to stack up those stuns. They're looking for these picks. Kaisa, the perfect marksman, to join one of those picks across halfway towards the rest of the map here. Second outer tower now going down on the bottom side. You can see C9 trying to move in, take over that territory, and look for those opportunities.
And you can look at the gold lead showing itself in these item completions. Over on TL, you know, just the one item completed between mid and bot. You have 2 items completed for Sneaky. You have the Triforce plus a pickaxe already coming through here for Nisqy. Bad is going to go to worse for them.
Vanguard's edge didn't even connect in the replay, but he didn't need it. Man, that stun was beautiful.
Yeah, he had one sword in the ground already.
You think you can fight me?
That was so good. Nisqy's got to be feeling so pumped up about that one as Cloud9 will continue rampaging through this game. 5K gold up. Both turrets down in those side lanes before the 14-minute mark meant 10 plates without even considering the state of the mid lane turret. As C9, with this lead they've built for themselves, they know TL can't fight for the drink.
Especially since if anyone transitions here through the jungle, Braum, Sejuani. These Freljord champions are so good at controlling these small corridors. You can see even Impact having a hard time transitioning over to get farm on the bottom half of the map. This is where Cloud9's team is at its best.
Yeah, Cloud9 is really doing a good job denying vision this game. They're trying to make these rotations difficult for TL. You know, taking over this bottom quadrant of the map, you know, Impact is always going to have to walk the safe way. That means your rotations are going to be much slower between mid and bot than Cloud9, who could just cut straight through that jungle.
You saw the stats come up. It's about 1,000 gold in turret plates that stand out between these two teams. Only part of the lead C9 has built up for themselves as they're now going to keep pressuring onto the tier 2s. Oftentimes we see teams stall out around this point of the game. They don't have enough of a lead to push further into that enemy territory, but Cloud9 has done a substantial job here early on, and they're going to keep moving forward.
Yeah, as you can see with the zoom out, you mine away the jungle camps here, Wolves and Grom and Blue Buff taken away by Cloud9, while Team Liquid have to play protection considering the dive opportunities that are there with these tanky champions.
So now for TL, it is about slowing down the pace of the game, giving an opportunity for Jensen, for DoubleLift to kind of claw their way back, farming up, completing these critical items, because we know how strong they can be in a team fight. You have this powerful front line, Vladimir and Varus, to be the kind of core damage dealers here for TL. So if you give them the opportunity, they can certainly make something happen with it.
And I think an important resource in them trying to accomplish that goal are the teleports, right?
Yeah.
Because Team Liquid, they can't afford to go too far out into enemy territory lest they get, lose the 1v1 or get picked off there. So if they have the teleports available like now with Jensen and Impact, then they can try and respond to the offensive play of Cloud9, and that's why you might see some hesitancy from C9 to actually call that play on the mid tower.
I do like this buy here from Nisqy, though, grabbing the Executioners. When you're up against Vladimir as well as the Aatrox, no matter who meets you in that side lane, this is going to give you a lot more pressure and seriously can make a huge difference in any potential 1v1.
I'm looking to see what Cloud9 does here for the next 3 minutes or so, because we're still a way away from Baron spawning. We're still a way away from the Drake spawning. Team Liquid is doing a good job defending the last remaining outer turret. And it's up to Cloud9, really, if anything's going to happen in this game anytime soon. Liquid's not going to be forcing a thing. If C9 decide they can find that window or just force it open like they have so far, maybe we'll see something. They're going into Team Liquid's jungle.
Again, retaining control of the jungle camps denies more income for Team Liquid in the meantime. Red buff coming up here. You can tell Team Liquid fishing around for a little bit of vision, try and get one of these objectives for themselves, but it's so dangerous considering the control Cloud9 have, and they could be laying a trap. Nisqy now showing topside though.
Nisqy dashing towards Jensen, but won't find a whole lot. And this is especially bad when you're playing Skarner. When you lose your Spire in your jungle, you're a melee minion. You walk up, you get caught out, you're dead. You walk up too close, you're still probably dead, even if you don't immediately get caught, because you're slow and you're weak and you got no mana.
At least he's a melee minion with a stopwatch, so maybe in the team fight,
maybe there's a way out.
He'll be able to, buy some time at least. But Cloud9 should just continue to keep this pressure up on Team Liquid. They're slowly increasing.
Yeah, and I think for them, they are happy to wait for this Baron. You have the Mountain Dragon, but this could be a potential chase down here onto Impact.
Impact's in some trouble. Giving himself healed up, though. Nice use of the World Ender and the extra damage and the extra healing. But Licorice has extra buddies coming down. Sneaky goes in looking to finish this one off. Impact's able to knock him up into the air. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Xmithie dragging Sneaky back, taking him very low. And that's the trade.
The teleport got stopped from Jensen, though. They solo killed Jensen on the top side as he was trying to TP in, and Nisqy is pressuring the base.
If there's ever a time to get a solo kill, that is it. Nisqy will kick that door in as Zeyzal and Svenskeren are pushing onto the tier 1 mid. Pings are coming out from TL onto the top side. They want to stop Nisqy, but he should be able to back away in time.
Even sweeter, killing your replacement there. Able to take down Jensen, who they thought was the better mid laner. Team Liquid took him away last year, but Nisqy takes him away from this series. Tower down, inhibitor exposed, and C9 using that opening very effectively.
Yeah, their defenses are crumbling. 5 towers knocked down here pre-20 minutes. They're going to have the Ocean as well as the Mount, which is going to give them a lot of power to play around this potential Baron as it is spawning here soon.
This game is so exciting for the rest of the series. With Team Liquid having that opener, game number 1, and getting the champions we associate with those players, for Cloud9 to strike back this quickly in game 2 really does mean it's going to be exciting. Here we go, though. Ultimate does land.
Chains of Corruption on Zeyzal, but he drops the Glacial Fissure to get himself away. C9 has to be careful to not overcommit to this defense. They will keep their support alive. Xmithie used the Predator, but he did not find anything with it. Considering he went for the Gargoyle Stoneplate second instead of the Righteous Glory, that means there's not a lot of initiation potential here from TL, and that's a free drink for Cloud9.
That was a very important timing on that play as well. Baron spawning now 20 minutes in. If you lose your key member right before the Baron spawn, everything can go downhill. Nisqy sees him right in vision, though.
Yeah.
Just goes right up the minions. Jensen, no respect for Nisqy there.
That was just terrible. He saw him on the minions.
Well, now it's going to be more trouble for Team Liquid as DoubleLift gets himself caught out, having to pop the Summoners, getting himself away. CoreJJ is going to be taken down next. The flank has arrived, and so has Cloud9. They will evaporate Team Liquid in front of their eyes. It's a 1-for-4, and they're on to the Baron.
C9 just running all over Team Liquid in game number 2 here. Baron will be theirs, and it looks like they are going to straight for the base.
What a move by C9.
Yeah, that was a huge fight for them. 21 minutes, and they are on the Red Bull power play here. Going to be seeing if they can close out this game or at least extend that gold lead even more.
Team Liquid once again exposing themselves to these picks we're talking about with the hard initiation from Svenskeren on Sejuani starting it off, and the flank from Licorice's Kled. He teleports in to the right side of mid lane for the perfect Kled ultimate right in onto DoubleLift. coming from multiple points. This is a signature C9 team fight we have come to expect over this summer.
Yeah, they have been so quick to actually coordinate on these fights. That was Sneaky TPing on one side, Licorice TPing on the other side, as Svenskeren goes for the engagement. That is exactly the kind of team fighting you want to see. Cloud9 now getting the Baron buff in all 3 lanes. They are looking to close the trap here on TL and look to push themselves to this game 3.
I mentioned in game 1 how Team Liquid has a fast game time when they took their Baron. Cloud9 took this one earlier, and they already have the base opened up with the tier 3 turret that Nisqy found top lane just a little while ago. That means I am fully expecting to see some inhibitors in ruins by the time this buff wears off. They got to do the due diligence, though. Take the spires, put down the wards, secure the entirety of the jungle as they move forward, and choke TL out of this game.
And they have such dominant solo laners. You really, with that open inhibitor on the top side, can just wait to establish an advantage there. And now Impact is moving away from that top side. TL knows they're going to have to force something because you will slowly bleed out of this, so they need to look for a potential engage.
Nobody can answer Nisqy at this point either. Irelia with Ignite up in the bottom side. Nobody's even heading to that half of the map. You can see Team Liquid, nobody wants that duty, and Nisqy's able to get the minions all the way into the turret. Even with 4 members mid, they can't force everything. This is a Braum, Kaisa, both with QSSs.
Xmithie tries to go up to the top side, but Licorice isn't too worried about it here just yet. Push is going to continue. Zeyzal looking to get himself away, but he's going to be collapsed on. Stopwatch will buy the time, and Team Liquid's looking to start the fight. Health bar's going to be taken low. Sneaky's going on a killing spree as Xmithie's also about to die. The damage continues ticking, but Licorice has to get himself back over the wall. CoreJJ and DoubleLift will continue the chase, and Piercing Arrow finds his heart.
Team Liquid a much needed defense there. The Baron up C9 have been thwarted. Round number 2 though, they return. Nisqy going deep onto Jensen again.
Ain't no reason to pump the brakes just yet here for
Nisqy's
C9.
low.
But Nisqy down to 10% means it's time to get out. CoreJJ is taken low. Jensen's going to be kept alive by transfusion. Sneaky goes 1 for 1 with him, and Cloud9 is still popping off.
Sneaky forces the Cloud9 victory in that team fight. Oh my goodness. Flash and ult in to take down the Vladimir. They know if they don't take out that pivotal sustained mage from the mid lane, they won't get through. Impact has revived though, and he's back at it.
Impact and Xmithie trying to make the 2-man defense. Svenskeren dashing away, barely going to be keeping himself alive. Nisqy now behind enemy lines, drawing the turret aggro, trying to find a way to outplay this one, but I don't think there's any way out. And Xmithie gets him with the chainsaw.
Team Liquid are going to hold the line, though. C9 do get some kills, but they do not lose an inhibitor critically, despite being so far behind at this point in the game. And this is C9 trying to initiate a fairly aggressive posture. DoubleLift catches Zeyzal with the ultimate, and Jensen takes the opportunity to dive straight in.
And with a big Vanguard's edge coming from Nisqy, they take down the first kill. No stun there on Xmithie, so he gets to go back to Fountain and heal after this. Licorice getting sniped down by DoubleLift on the end. You think that's a stop to it, but the minions come through. Baron buff on. Jensen pulled down. Means that Sneaky's going to look for this with Kaisa. He has Killer Instinct available. Even with Nisqy getting jumped back, we returned alive and they got a pick.
The violence continues as Licorice could be in a bad spot, but Sneaky comes over the wall and Cloud9 brings in the backup. Dragon's gonna be taken by DoubleLift, but the fight still rages. Jensen drops to Sneaky, and now they're looking to bring more damage into Licorice. Team Liquid will try to make their stand.
DoubleLift taking over!
And DoubleLift just slaughtered everyone!
Quadra kill for DoubleLift. He is refusing to lose this game. Found the perfect positioning in that corridor. He stand, he fought, and he came up with 4 huge kills.
Only Nisqy remains from Cloud9. Team Liquid, when backed into a corner, will show their teeth, and they continue to hang on.
All right, so they were going down for the Dragon, then head back up through the jungle here. Pull starts it out onto Licorice, and you have the full commitment. Sneaky ulting in once again as the Kaisa onto Jensen, takes down that one. But once DoubleLift returns from the Dragon, C9 have no way to get back to this Varus. Svenskeren tries to charge him, but there's no follow-up there, and he's able to free fire. He even flashes forward to get those last two.
And you have got to remember, there was no Nisqy there. They took this fight without him. DoubleLift coming up, this positioning in the corridor. The ultimate connecting on multiple members. The piercing arrows going through. You can see the hurricane bolts flying through there. And when he sees Sneaky low, no hesitation, flashing past the Braum shield there to knock down the third and fourth kills.
All right, Cloud9, they need to slow it down, pump the brakes right now. The Baron is back on the table. They have double Ocean as well as a Mountain Drake. They should be able to control the biggest objective on the map, rather than continue to throw themselves at Team Liquid. If they make more of these mistakes, then this is very winnable for Team Liquid.
I mean, Jensen is closing in on his Death Cap. When you hit that Death Cap Spellbinder combo, you are in range of one comboing some of these carries.
It is still a long ways away. It's 10,000 gold lead for Cloud9, but the last couple of fights have started to bring those images to the forefront.
But critically, these fights have been in Team Liquid territory. They've not been the most well prepared.
And they didn't even have Nisqy for the last one.
Right. Cloud9 is now once again in neutral ground. The Baron pit does not belong to TL. Cloud9's making sure of that right now with control wards and sweepers and everything else. And when they're 5 men strong, TL has to be oh so careful about how close they walk to this.
Now, the ideal setup for Cloud9, they should be able to retain these control wards in the Baron pit. And then you have Sejuani be able to jump over the wall for the initiation with a Kled ultimate to come through this corridor here to find the pick onto Team Liquid. But Zeyzal actually gets stunned up first.
Xmithie there on the front line. Glacial Fissure going to be interrupting this one. Zeyzal taken low, but not low enough. Cloud9 have got themselves the Baron, and now the charge will sound. The fight's going to be breaking out. Into the back line goes the Vladimir, but Jensen's going to be popped immediately. Impact now going to be soaking the damage. Xmithie also going to be taken very low. And Cloud9 brings the storm to Team Liquid. DoubleLift is chased down, beat down. He's going home, and Cloud9 will win the fight.
The door to the base is already open, and Cloud9 will push through for a victory in Game 2.
We are going to be all tied up. Game 1 was all Team Liquids, but Game 2, Cloud9 came to play.
Hot damn, we got a series, boys. This is showing both teams at their best in these first 2 games. Cloud9 take the Nexus.
You have got to give so much credit to Cloud9, bouncing right back after a devastating Game 1. Svenskeren right back in MVP form, 4-3-20 on the Sejuani. No, you did not hear me wrong. 20 assists, Kobe!
And hey, 25 assists for Zeyzal. A final kill score of 12, 5, and 10 for Sneaky. I have criticized them throughout Summer Split, and I believe rightfully so. But I've got to give credit where credit is due as well. These guys are stepping up when it matters most.
Big changes in this game. They get Team Liquid off of some of their most prized picks, and they take advantage. Cloud9's bottom lane, the focus of their strategy. Again and again, throwing more members down there. Sneaky and Zeyzal's success is the key to this series.
It really is, and you've got to say now, as Xmithie, it's so hard to predict where Cloud9 is going to go, right? You know, there were so many options for Svenskeren, attacking top lane, attacking mid lane, and I think they got such a good advantage in the draft with multiple kind of pushing lanes in the solos. It allowed them the flexibility to go anywhere.
They definitely showed up here in the second game, and to give us a breakdown of how it all happened, we're sending things back to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you, Flowers. Cloud9 have brought us to 1-1, so we've brought WWE superstar Cesaro onto the desk to help us make sense of it all and how it's breaking down here in North America. I say how it's breaking down here in North America because you were just over in the LPL not a couple days ago getting to watch the LPL fight through some sick battles.
Yeah, that's true. I actually got to kick off the LPL playoffs with my friend Xavier Woods from Up Down Down, WB's gaming YouTube channel. So it was cool to see the LPL and their playing style, and I think we saw some of that play style here in Game 2.
Right, not shying away from a fight. That's basically the signature
fights,
move.
all team fights, and I love it.
All right, so Cloud9 maybe taking a page out of the LPL's playbook there and looking to find those fights. I want to take a look at Champion Select. Game 1, there was audible boos around the entire stadium as the karma was picked up and then hovered again here in game 2, but it gets swapped over to the Kled.
Yeah, one of my favorite developments of the Detroit Finals is when karma is hovered, it gets booze. And I'm glad that C9 opted away from it. The entire team composition was so much better for C9 than in Game 1. In Game 1, they had Thresh and Veigar for Unreliable Engage. In Game 2, all 5 members of their team could start a team fight, and you saw that in multiple plays this game.
I think a big part of it was also that Nisqy got Irelia. That can't happen again. He is unbelievable. The 1v1 outplays that he had, I've never seen an Irelia played like that.
Yeah, you could see some of the difficulty maybe for the red side for Team Liquid, having to throw out that Yuumi ban, not being able to maybe take that Irelia off the table. Zeyzal, referencing again your experience now over in LPL, and then here just yesterday, we had the Poppies coming out. Now we've got the Kled. You yourself are a top laner. How are you feeling about the way that the meta is developing here in this series around the top lane?
Well, like I said, I'm really happy that Karma Top gets booed here in Detroit. I think we should keep that everywhere. You know, I always like the kind of off-meta picks, or the different picks than what we see. So I'm really big fan of the Kled top lane. Maybe we see Poppy top lane coming out. Maybe we even see Yuumi Garen, bot. Maybe, who knows?
I would love some Yuumi Garen. Speaking of the bot lane, I got to talk about Svenskeren's attention to the bot lane and then rolled around the entire map. Definitely having a little bit more of that MVP look this time around. Azael citing that 20 assists.
Yeah, he was super unpredictable here, going with a really nice timing on the bottom lane. And the great thing was that they stunned the Tahm Kench before going for the DoubleLift, so he could not get the Devour on time. And Xmithie actually picked up all that farm, and you would have thought that Xmithie would get ahead, but then Svenskeren finds him, and the fact that you give away this skill completely snowballs the game.
And I thought this was doubly bad because Xmithie had actually skipped his Krugs trying to catch up on tempo and still died. And at that point, this is just C9 piling everyone bottom.
Cesaro, this is the LPL Classic right here.
Classic, just a good team fight, tower dives, action.
And this was amazing from Cloud9. Commit all 5 members, but I would have liked to see Team Liquid teleport sooner. You know that Cloud9 is going to go for this play. They had ample time to scout it out, but instead they chose to go in late and everyone died.
And I think the thing that caught TL off guard there was the Kled, because he had previously died to a gank. The instant he respawned, he teleported into alt DoubleLift in that play as DoubleLift was trying to retreat to his turret.
It didn't end there. Cloud9 with an advantage, with a gold lead, is the most willing team to press their advantages. Let's go now into the mid game where they just keep pulling the trigger.
You can see they're really in their comfort zone once they can do this. And to Crumbs' point, especially Nisqy, the difference between him in this game and when he was playing on Veigar is completely night and day. Not only this, but multiple solo kills throughout the game.
Yeah, Nisqy, but the fact that they were playing so quickly to accelerate the rest of the map, they were no slouches in trying to make sure that you were getting objectives constantly around the map. And they're going to actually go with this play into what I believe is a tower dive in the top lane. Well, but that actually already happened. This is the greatest outplay that we had all game of the 1v1s.
That was one of a couple solo kills that would come through for Nisqy up there against Jensen. Another one to stop a teleport and perhaps a turn for Team Liquid later in the game. Cesaro, you're rather new to League of Legends. You started playing just about a year ago, right?
Just about a year ago, and it's,
So talk to me about the experience of watching these teams, understanding the history as we've kind of built it up here today between both these teams really, duking it out for a title.
See, it's awesome because, it's 1-1, and we've seen dominant games from both teams. So, I want to see a game 5, and just to be here with the crowd, it's awesome. And I think, here's the thing, WWE, we feed off the crowd, and I believe the players feed off the crowd too, because when they hear the crowd roar, that just gives you that extra power, that gives you that extra motivation. And I think especially in game 2, there was no hesitation from C9. There was just every time they went in, they committed 100%. And I feel like once you get that momentum and once you get the crowd, you just go.
And I think that's growth for C9. Exactly a year ago, they got 3-0'd by TL on the same stage. Svenskeren learning from that and being able to bounce back here in game 2.
Yeah, this is the final fight. Team Liquid about 10,000 gold behind, and the no hesitation from Cloud9 immediately. Normally you would have seen, we got Baron. There's no need to continue to fight, but they just say, if we win this fight, we don't have to deal with the inhibitor push. We can just end the game right here, right now, and put Team Liquid into game 3.
There were a couple messy fights in the mid game where TL looked to find a couple of stabs back into the game, but as you say, C9 may be taking that breath to get calm, cool, collect, remember what their win conditions are, pick up that Baron, and ultimately end it.
That's where Nisqy comes in. This guy has 7 years of LCS experience. He's the guy that always keeps Cloud9 calm and collected. Remember, guys, do your steps. That's what he tells. That's the guys, so that they don't overcommit and make those mistakes like that 4v5 they took without Nisqy.
TL is going to take blue side, Jatt. Cesaro said he wants 5 games. So, either team could take it here, but for Team Liquid, how do they keep that tit-for-tat kind of play here?
I think we've seen that the teams will probably have a draft advantage on blue side. Irelia, Qiyana, and Gragas were the 3 bans by Team Liquid in Game 1. The biggest thing to pay attention to is the mid lane matchup, and does Nisqy have a comfortable melee mid-champion that he can play aggressive with? In Game 1, they banned Akali themselves and didn't dare Jensen to pick it. I want to see either Jensen on a melee, Casina's going to try and force that, or TL is going to try and force Nisqy onto a range matchup. I think the mid lane has actually been incredibly pivotal in the series.
Cesaro, we have 2 games of evidence, 1-1. What's your gut feeling? Who's going to take it in our 5-game series?
Okay, so I'm just going to say C9 in Game 5.
Woo! There it is. All 3 of my analysts at the top of the day,
feeling.
they said
All
Team
gut feeling.
Liquid, but we've got a C9 prediction here. Thank you so much for joining us on the
Thanks
desk
for having me. I
today.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
As we go to break,
Thank you.
though, you're going to get an early look at the Alienware Aurora R9 desktop. Alienware will be upgrading the LCS studios in Los Angeles.